Hi there! Welcome back to American Lingo Academy. I'm Luna, and today we're going to learn 10 super useful English expressions that you'll hear all the time in everyday conversations. These phrases will really help you sound more natural and understand English better. Let's get started. Number 1, get into an argument. This is a common phrase that means to start fighting or disagreeing with someone, usually with words, not physically. When you get into an argument, you and another person are both upset and saying things because you don't agree about something. It's like a verbal fight. We use this phrase constantly when talking about disagreements. For example, imagine you're at home with your brother, and he wants to watch a football game on TV, but you want to watch a cooking show. You both start raising your voices and saying why your choice is better. Your mom walks into the room and says, "Why are you two always getting into arguments about the TV? You need to learn to share." Here's another one. Let's say your coworker tells you a story at lunch. She says, "Yesterday I got into an argument with my husband about our vacation plans. He wants to go to the mountains, but I want to go to the beach. We were both so stubborn." Number 2, until one day. This is a phrase, and it's really common in storytelling. We use it when we're talking about something that continued for a long time, and then suddenly something changed, or something important happened. It marks a turning point in a story. Think of it like this. Everything was the same, until one day when everything changed. For example, imagine your friend is telling you about her job. She says, "I hated my job for 5 years. Every morning I woke up feeling terrible about going to work. I kept doing it because I needed the money, until one day my boss called me into her office and offered me a promotion. Everything changed after that." Here's another one. Let's say you're talking to your neighbor about his dog. He tells you, "My dog was so shy when I first got him. He would hide under the bed all day and never wanted to play, until one day he saw a squirrel in the backyard, and suddenly he came alive. Now he's the most energetic dog ever." Number 3, all sales are final. This is a sentence you'll see on signs in stores or hear from salespeople. It means that once you buy something, you cannot return it or get your money back. The sale is finished, done, complete. There's no changing your mind. Stores use this rule especially during big sales or when they're selling discounted items. For example, you're shopping at a clothing store during a huge clearance sale, and everything is 70% off. You find a beautiful dress and take it to the cashier. Before she rings it up, she says, "Just so you know, all sales are final today. You won't be able to return this or exchange it. Do you still want it?" Here's another one. Imagine you're buying a used phone from a small electronics shop. The owner shows you the phone and tells you, "This phone works perfectly, but I need to tell you that all sales are final. I don't accept returns on used items, so make sure you test it now before you buy it." Number 4, a little while ago. This is a time phrase that means recently, or a short time in the past. It's not super specific. It could mean a few minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, or even a few days ago. It's a nice, casual way to talk about something that happened not too long ago. We use it all the time in everyday conversation. For example, you're at home and your mom asks you, "Have you seen my keys?" And you answer, "Yeah, I saw them on the kitchen counter a little while ago." Maybe try looking there. You're not saying exactly when, you're just saying it was recently. Here's another one. You're chatting with your friend at a coffee shop, and she asks what you've been up to. You say, "Oh, not much. I just finished reading a great book a little while ago. It was so good I couldn't put it down." Number 5, despite what you may think. This is a phrase we use when we want to say something that might surprise someone, or when we want to correct a wrong idea that someone might have. It's like saying, "I know you might believe this, but actually the truth is different." It's a polite way to introduce information that goes against common assumptions. For example, imagine you have a friend who thinks you don't like exercising because you never go to the gym. One day you're talking and you say, despite what you may think, I actually love working out. I just prefer doing it at home with videos instead of at a gym. Here's another one. Let's say you're in a meeting at work and your boss thinks a project will be really difficult. You want to reassure everyone, so you say, despite what you may think, this project isn't as complicated as it looks. I've done something similar before and we can finish it in 2 weeks. Number 6, don't interrupt me. We use this when someone keeps cutting us off while we're speaking. To interrupt means to start talking when someone else is still talking, breaking into their words. When you say don't interrupt me, you're asking someone, sometimes firmly, to let you finish what you're saying. It's not always rude, but it's definitely direct and serious. For example, you're on the phone with your sister, trying to explain something important that happened at work. She keeps jumping in with questions before you can finish your story. Finally, you say, Sarah, please don't interrupt me. Let me tell you the whole story first, and then you can ask questions. Here's another one. Imagine you're in a discussion with your teenage son about his grades. He keeps making excuses and cutting you off every time you try to make a point. You say, listen, I need you to hear me out. Don't interrupt me until I'm done, and then you can tell me your side. Number 7, don't walk out on me. This is a phrase that means don't leave me, especially during an important or emotional conversation. When someone walks out, they literally turn around and leave the room or the situation. This phrase is often used during arguments or serious talks when one person is trying to leave to avoid the conversation. It's emotional and shows that the speaker really needs the other person to stay and talk things through. For example, you're having a difficult conversation with your partner about your relationship. Things are getting tense, and suddenly he stands up and starts walking toward the door. You say, wait, please don't walk out on me. We need to talk about this. We can't just ignore it. Here's another one. Imagine a mother talking to her adult daughter who's upset and trying to leave during a family discussion. The mom says, I know this is hard to hear, but don't walk out on me. I'm your mother and I love you. We need to work through this together. Number 8, tear up. This is a phrasal verb that means to start crying or to have tears form in your eyes. When you tear up, you're getting emotional and your eyes start to fill with water, but you might not be fully crying yet. It's that moment when you feel something so deeply that tears just come. We use this phrase for both happy and sad moments. For example, you're at your best friend's wedding, watching her walk down the aisle in her beautiful white dress. The music is playing and everything is so perfect. Your friend sitting next to you notices your face and whispers, "Are you okay?" And you say, "Yeah, I'm fine. I just always tear up at weddings. They're so beautiful." Here's another one. Imagine you're watching a movie at home with your family. It's a sad scene where a dog waits for his owner who never comes back. Your brother looks over at you and says, "Are you tearing up over a movie?" And you laugh and say, "I can't help it. Sad movies always make me tear up." Number 9, brand new. This is an adjective phrase that means completely new, never used before, fresh from the store or factory. When something is brand new, it's in perfect condition, with no scratches, no wear, nothing. It's as new can be. We use this phrase for things we just bought or just got, and we want to emphasize how new they are. For example, you're showing your neighbor your new car that you just drove home from the dealership today. He comes over to look at it and says, "Wow, nice car." You reply with a big smile, "Thanks. Yeah, it's brand new. I just bought it this morning. I'm still getting used to driving it." Here's another one. Your daughter comes downstairs wearing a dress you've never seen before. You ask her, "Is that new?" And she says, "Yes, I got it yesterday at the mall. It's brand new. I haven't even taken the tags off yet. This is the first time I'm wearing it." Number 10, you can't get it back. We use this to talk about something that's lost or gone forever, something that can't be returned or recovered. It could be time, money, an opportunity, or an object. Once it's gone, it's gone. We often use this phrase when we're warning someone or explaining why something is serious or permanent. For example, imagine you're talking to your younger brother who wants to drop out of college. You're worried about him and you say, "I know school is hard right now, but think carefully about this decision. If you quit, you might regret it. Time is precious, and you can't get it back." Here's another one. Let's say your friend is thinking about selling a family heirloom, a special ring that belonged to her grandmother. You're having coffee together and you say to her, "Are you absolutely sure you want to sell that ring? Because once you sell it, you can't get it back. It's been in your family for generations." And that's it for today. We covered 10 really useful expressions that native speakers use all the time. Practice these and you'll sound more natural. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Keep practicing. Bye for now.